Hey, Battle Buddies. Thanks for tuning in again. I'm going to hopefully keep this at 4, maybe 5 minutes. Anyway, so one thing that comes up often, or is a pitfall, when I get feedback is they tend to be trust issues. And so this is a component of how selfish or selfless is the person at the end of the day. So if you think of a math formula, on the top side, numerator, denominator, right? I want you to write down credibility, reliability, and intimacy. Okay? So trust equals credibility, reliability, intimacy, divided by selfishness. So if you all remember back to algebra day, probably week 2 or so, you know that the bigger that bottom number is, the more it decimates the top side of this math formula. Okay, so what are those 3 components? 4, actually, but what are the top 3? So credibility is your things, those little asterisks next to your name, like I've got an MBA, got buddies that are doctors, guys, friends that are, sorry, that phone call is going to have to wait. Doctors, attorneys, stuff like that. Credibility comes from certifications from outside organizations, you Cisco guy, whatever. So those tend to come with certain competencies, okay? Reliability, that is how others think of your consistency, okay? So you should be able to demonstrate to somebody that so-and-so says I'm a good dude. Referrals, right? Hey, I had a doctor on the phone yesterday. What does this mean? Well, Joe, if they're calling around asking your references, they want to know, is this guy who looks like Batman really Batman? This dude's a superstar. So sometimes you can almost build too much of this in the trust formula, okay? That's a good problem. I love having good problems. Makes sense, right? All right, so, military-wise, credibility, as a sergeant major, as a naval captain, Air Force, concierge, whatever it happens to be. That's where your credibility comes from. Reliability, it's what others say of you. Yelp, right? Thing's a nightmare for some people. Then you get into the intimacy piece. That means, how safe does that person sitting across the table feel that when they give you a task or something, that you're going to be able to do it, and that you're going to actually deliver those types of results that you're stating that you can do? That means, if I have a mission critical task for you, can you pull it off? Can you do it? Can I put myself in a vulnerable enough position as a leader to know that you're going to deliver? Okay, so take those 3, add them up. Hopefully you get, 100 out of 100 on there. Okay, that's 300. Let's say that selfishness can actually equal 1,000 with that math formula. Okay, your goal is to keep that as close to 0 as possible, because the second you start creeping up to 100, 200, 300, your likelihood of getting hired decreases by quite a bit, because people are hiring people that they trust at the end of the day. So if I think about stuff that I've seen coming through Battle Buddies, what they pay, what the benefits, how much time off did they give you? Is there 401k? Those types of things. As a hiring manager, if somebody throws that shit my way, boom. Score. I'm keeping track of, is this person here to serve the company, serve the team, produce ROI for me? Or are they here to collect a paycheck on Friday, go home, and then bitch about the job that they've got to do? What is it? So you want to talk about things like being promotion-driven, being mission-driven, being success-driven, team success, team lead. being resourceful, all those things that you guys did while on active duty for a long time, they need to understand that it is Charlie Mike, right? Continue mission. It is accomplishing the mission. You have a background that's real similar to farming. There's no 9 to 5. You do what you got to do, and you carry on. If it takes till midnight or 5 days from now to accomplish the task, that's just what the reality is, right? So make sure that you guys can tell that story. And you can expect, at least these veterans that I deal with, to be challenged on being able to build too much trust if you don't give them a reason to distrust. I'm not saying ask about the wage and all of that. I'm just saying you should know going in ahead of time, if you've talked to enough people, to know whether you're on target or close enough to it. And you should be able to skip all of that stuff. So, building trust is critical when you're in the interview process to make sure that you convey a message that removes all signs of selfishness when possible. If they ask you, hey, what's your rate? Well, go ahead and disclose that. But don't do that. Not on the interview. That's for negotiation down the road. We'll get into that in another video. You save that post-offer. Okay? That's a whole nother video. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, feel free to direct message me. Send me an email. I get them all the time. I get way more that way than I actually do comments below. Your comments below, though, actually do help the others that are watching this stuff. So don't be afraid. Give me some feedback, and I'll keep answering questions as they come. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.